Most people forget conversations. You archive them, word for word, tone for tone, pause for pause. And hours later, you're still there, replaying, adjusting, reinterpreting. The question isn't why you remember, it's why your brain refuses to close the file. You leave a conversation feeling mostly fine. Then later in bed, it starts. That pause was weird. Why did they say it like that? Did I sound insecure? Were they annoyed? You reconstruct the moment like a crime scene. Zoom in on one sentence. Rewind. Try a different response in your head. It feels productive until it isn't. And now you're tired but wired. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain treats social interactions like unfinished equations. If something feels ambiguous, your nervous system flags it as unresolved. Unresolved equals unsafe. Not physically unsafe, relationally unsafe. Humans are wired for belonging, so when there's uncertainty, a vague tone, a neutral response, a delayed reply, your brain tries to complete the pattern. It replays the conversation to search for clarity. This isn't random overthinking. It's threat detection mixed with high perception. You notice micro-shifts most people ignore. A slight hesitation, a subtle withdrawal, a change in energy. Your brain doesn't miss them. And because it doesn't miss them, it tries to interpret them. The replay is your system asking, "Are we still okay?" But here's the part no one tells you. Accuracy and anxiety can look identical in your head. Sometimes you are picking up something real. Sometimes your pattern recognition is sharp. But once fear enters the loop, the goal changes. It's no longer about understanding, it's about control. If you can analyze it perfectly, maybe you can prevent rejection next time. If you can find the exact moment you messed up, maybe you can fix yourself before it happens again. That's not perception, that's self-protection, and your brain is very good at it. Here's the hidden cost of constant replay. You never actually experience closure, because closure requires tolerating uncertainty. When you replay a conversation 10 times, you're trying to extract certainty from something that doesn't offer it. Did they mean that? Maybe. Were they upset? Possibly. Will it matter next week? Unknown. But your brain hates unknown, so it keeps working, and working, and working, until thinking becomes a substitute for feeling. Instead of saying, "That comment hurt," you analyze tone. Instead of admitting, "I'm scared they'll pull away," you dissect word choice. Intellectualizing feels safer than vulnerability, but it keeps the loop alive. At first, it's behavioral. You replay conversations occasionally. Then it becomes identity. I'm just someone who overthinks. I analyze everything. That's just how my brain works. Eventually, it becomes existential. If I stop analyzing, something bad might happen. Now the replay isn't optional. It feels necessary. Like if you don't double-check the memory, you'll miss a signal, miss a warning, miss the moment someone decides you're too much. That's the deeper fear. Not that you said something wrong, but that you'll be blindsided again. So here's the real distinction. Are you replaying to understand or to prevent abandonment? Next time you catch yourself replaying, ask one precise question. What am I trying to solve right now? If the answer is clarity, ask, is more analysis actually giving me new information? If the answer is safety, say this instead. I can survive not knowing. That sentence interrupts the loop, because most conversation replays aren't about the past. They're about fear of future disconnection. Your brain believes vigilance equals protection. But relationships aren't stabilized by perfect analysis. They're stabilized by communication. If something truly feels off, you can ask. If it doesn't, you can let ambiguity exist.
That's emotional tolerance. And without it, your intelligence turns against you. Remember the beginning. Why won't your brain close the file? Because for a long time, leaving things unresolved didn't feel safe. So you became excellent at reviewing, scanning, preparing. That adaptation probably protected you once, but protection isn't the same as connection. You don't need to shut your mind off. You don't need to become less perceptive. You need to decide when analysis is useful and when it's just fear wearing the mask of insight. Replaying a conversation doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain is trying to keep you socially secure. The growth isn't in stopping the replay entirely. It's in knowing when to gently say, "Thank you. I've got it from here." Because the real skill isn't deep thinking. It's knowing when to stop. And if that feels uncomfortable, that discomfort might be the beginning of peace.